by 2030, women between the ages of 25 and 44,
it is going to be over half
of women of marriageable age will be single for the rest of their lives. In fact, they are so certain of this that they did this research on Morgan Stanley so their investors would know what to invest in. So invest in box wine, right? And invest in cat toys, invest in
it's not a joke, guys, when we say this.
In ovum freezing.
Because at 40 for a woman, it's basically over.
Really?
Yeah. Having kids and like physically for most women. Yeah. I mean, there's exceptions, sure, but that's not the rule. But as a 40-year-old guy that like, you know, if you're doing pretty well, like you could get married tomorrow with a 25-year-old, have 5 kids and still have a whole life. That's just not the case biologically for women.
These old desperate women want to come into your life. They're not coming alone. They're coming with emotional baggage from their past relationships, high body count, and kids from different fathers. What does she actually offer and bring to the table? It's possible that any children you have with her will be affected by Down syndrome or autism. I don't mean to be abrupt, but research suggests that older mothers have a higher risk of having children with autism. It's not uncommon for a woman to have children from a previous marriage by the time she reaches marriageable age. All the male lovers she has left her with emotional scars. She's likely overweight, and even if she isn't, her diet of Snickers bars, while clad in nothing but her underwear, is causing her serious health problems. She may be successful professionally, but she probably still wants to date a richer, younger, more attractive man. Isn't it great that so many Western women are ready to settle down? Unfortunately, this is not the case for the vast majority of men over the age of 40. After that point, somewhere between 12 and 15% of them get married. However, do you think it's well worth it? Even the most jaded person is susceptible to falling in love at some point, but it's not a safe bet. A man's pension and retirement are at risk if he lives with a woman of middle age. Probably his replacement will consist of constant nagging and mockery. His dog, too, will be covering its ears to silence her. Wouldn't it be great if animals could talk? More men would take the red pill than take any other action. When men don't want to get married, they're often referred to as man-children, which I think is an unfair insult. Typically, a man with Peter Pan syndrome who shows no signs of maturing is made to feel ashamed and inadequate. However, a woman with Peter Pan syndrome is praised for being fearless and self-reliant. Are we the only ones who find this double standard unacceptable? This double standard, where women are praised for actions that men are also praised for, needs to end. Women's decisions about whether or not to have children or to remain unmarried are no longer met with condemnation from society. In fact, single mothers are putting on weight at a rate comparable to a roided-up sumo wrestler. So, what exactly can men and boys use to embarrass women today? Nothing, because these women have this mentality that they are flawless beings capable of no wrongdoing. We'll only bring shame upon ourselves if we try to shame them. However, at this time, comments about someone's weight are not considered hate speech. Eventually, I expect it to be. We must always prioritize the comfort of women's emotions, even if it causes them pain in the long run. Ensuring their safety and comfort right now is paramount. The birth rates in many Asian countries are among the lowest in the world, even though women in their 20s and 30s are still stigmatized for waiting to start families. This demonstrates that the shaming language is ineffective, or that most women there simply do not want children. In my opinion, most women who have children do so for romantic reasons or out of fear of social disgrace. Without them, I believe the birth rate would be much lower. The declining birth rate in Japan has received a lot of attention, but the situation in South Korea, where the average number of children per family is 1.17, is far worse. That, of course, can be attributed in no small part to the emergence of feminism there. If you ask me, Korean women don't need any help looking like they're in their mid-30s. The youngest of them is probably in their 20s at most. This is more indicative of a new generation of Korean women who are obsessed with outshining their male counterparts and thus challenging traditional female hygiene standards. If I had to guess, Those are the exact opposite of the women you want to spend the rest of your life with. But it's too late for the older women who are now chasing after the high-value men of their youth. The longer it takes, the less likely they are to succeed. After the age of 40, only about 10% to 15% of men will get married, which is something I think women should know. That's a little over 10%, or a little more than 1/10th. Do you really think most of them are desirable by your standards? The 20s are a time when women should realize they need to get their lives in order, in my opinion. Once that time comes, they must find a reliable life partner. If they don't, they'll probably just drift from guy to guy until they settle down with a cat. An old woman's desire to settle down is code for, I'm running out of beta males to provide emotional tampons, and I want to secure access to a man with a wallet for my old age. And any man who is truly ready to settle down knows this. Guys, don't be that guy and don't carry that wallet. Instead, put your money into cat food manufacturers and antidepressant pharmaceuticals. She'll need both to survive her golden years alone. Usually, when an older woman says she's ready to settle down, she just wants to feel safe and loved. What's more, she's open to ideas you hadn't even considered. Don't make her talk to you and waste her time. Don't waste such irreplaceable moments on her. That's all for today on Circle of Kings. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. See you next time. Cheers.